Now, this next segment, by the way, boys, I don't know if it's too early for this. I don't know if it's proper timing for this. But it's already happening, and it's not my fault. It's a topic that's already being discussed, so we got to talk about it right now. Is it too early to be talking about whether or not they need to fire Kalen DeBoer? And before you give me your answer, I just want to lay some facts out for you. He is currently 9-5 as Alabama's head football coach. He is 5 in his last 10 games, 4-5 in his last 9. If I want to make it look that bad, all 5 of his losses are by double-digit favorites. There are 100% games he should not be losing. And further facts for you, $63 million buyout at the end of this season. And before you go start talking about how this is crazy, don't be talking about this way too early for this. This ain't me talking. Y'all trust Pete Thamel as much as anybody. Everyone should. He works for ESPN. He's handed these stories by the big people in the world, okay, of the world of college football. This is Pete Thamel talking about this today. Quote, by the time they play LSU, we could know there are already some signs now that they're getting things in motion. He went on to say that it would be historic the amount of money that they would give him, only second to that they gave Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. And he also went on to allude, guys, that Kalen DeBoer may just go somewhere else, may just leave Alabama. I don't know about that either. I'm with you. You're going to have to drag me up out there while paying me that $63 million. You're going to have to fire my butt. Ain't no way I'm selectively leaving, big dog.
Yeah.
Is it too early, though? Is it too early to be having this conversation?
It's not too early to potentially prepare for it. I'll tell you that much.
That's a good point.
It's not too early to do that. And so by that, I would say, no, it's not too early to talk about it, because I think if you aren't, like, at least keeping this in the back of your mind of this is a potential, we might get to this point this season, or maybe even in the halfway point of this season, then you would be failing yourself as an organization and as a football program. But there is needed context to this. Like, we don't know how good Florida State is just yet. Like, we don't know. Like, you could certainly get better. Like, we just don't know those things. It's early in the season to make, like, a firm answer.
It is early, Jonathan, but they just lost their first game, so they're 0-1. They got ULM in Wisconsin. Let's give them that.
Yeah.
Let's say they're 2-1 after week 3. They go on the road to Georgia. They get Vandy at home, at Mizzou, Tennessee, at South Carolina. If he loses 2 of those 5 right there, we got to have serious questions.
Yeah.
If he loses 3 of those 5, we're eating $63 million in Tuscaloosa.
Most likely. Yeah.
If we're staring down 4-4 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, before a bye week and LSU's coming to town, you're gone.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you're at an inflection point for Alabama here, because you have to now decide what you want this program to look like post Saban. Because the first thing you have to accept is that era is gone. You are no longer going to be the most talented team on the field that just does every single thing right, that bludgeons everyone, that no matter who you're playing, whether it's the first-ranked team in the country or the worst in college football, you're going to beat the hell out of them. That era is gone. So you have to ask yourself now, are you happy with where things are? Because the reality of what the Kalen DeBoer era of Alabama looks like, and will probably look like moving forward, is you're going to be a talented enough team to beat everyone. They have enough talent. They've recruited well enough. He has shown that he can recruit in this area. The problem is that you're so poorly coached and you're so undisciplined that you're also going to have the ability to lose to anyone.
That's the thing for me is this is such a unicorn to me. This is such a rare case where a guy comes into a program that has a championship caliber roster, a 10-win guaranteed talent type of roster, and the first year goes 9-4 and then turns around and loses the first game. He's lost 5 of his last 10 football games, all as multiple digit favorites, after taking over a program that was really, really good. I asked this on Twitter today. Do we have an example of a football coach that was so obviously on a downtick the moment he started at a place that was at on high, obviously on a downtick, and then somehow pulled the nose up to ultimately become a success? And Alabama fans hopped in my mentions talking about Kirby Smart going 8-5 in year 1. First of all, by year 2, he was on the way to play for a national title, not getting beat by 14 as a 2-touchdown favorite on the road by a death punch in the face, first and foremost. Secondly, he was replacing Mark Richt, who always had occasional 8-5s. 8-5 at Georgia during 2016 was not non-par for the course. It was not out of left field. Buddy, you go 8-5 at Alabama this year, and that's going to look like all hell broke loose. So the two are not the same. And I ask you guys, has anyone been able to pull the nose up when it is very obviously tanking on them?
The only instance I can think of and where it's going downhill and you think that this is probably the end, they're probably going to get fired, is Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
In the late 2020, 2019 era when he was like, I think they went like 3 and something in 2020.
Oh, the COVID year, they were 2-4.
They were awful.
Yeah.
Awful. I thought it was over. And then obviously he turned around in 2021, ended up winning a championship in 2023. But even then, it's not like Jim Harbaugh inherited this incredible program that was competing for national titles. So I don't know if there's ever been an instance where you take over this absolute dynasty, tank it to the ground, and then bring it back up to the dynasty again.
How do we feel about Steve Sarkisian in this conversation?
He didn't do it at the place. You know what I'm saying? He's pulling the nose up at Texas when the nose was going down at USC. When the nose, he had to leave Washington. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a different case. But I see what you're saying.
And I know that Texas
on the upward.
And he didn't take Texas over after they just had an immense amount of success recently. Obviously, that program had a tradition of winning and whatnot. But I mean, he went 5-7, 8-5, and then we turned that around into 12-2, 13-3, and probably 3 years in a row of being a college football playoff team.
Yeah,
that's like the only thing I could think of like this guy took a head coaching job, didn't look like it was probably going to work out, and it's like considering the history too of him.
Yeah.
That's the only name I can really think of.
The only thing I would push back on that, 2 things. They were a downtrodden program when he took over.
Absolutely.
And that first year where they had, I think they were 7-5. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. I think all 5 of those were 1-score losses.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was an embarrassment out there for a program that was already 7-5. He was a more competitive 7-5. Most people that were probably watching Texas football thought they were improving. No different than the 7-5 team from 2015 or whatever it was the year before Kirby took over and the second year that Kirby took over.
Yeah.
So again, like I think the best example I got was Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman lost the first 3 football games that he coached and immediately pulled the nose up. But that doesn't even equate to this one. This guy walked into Alabama last year, guys, and beat the number 1 team in the country at home. He was the number 1 ranked team a month into the season. Everybody thought he had the best player in college football and the best roster and was going to go on and win a national title or at least compete for one. The next week gets beat by Vandy, then gets beat by Oklahoma, then gets beat by Michigan, then opens the season with a gut-wrenching loss to Florida State. I've never seen this. This is very new to me. Now, again, forgive my bald knowledge. It really starts about 2012 for me. So the last 15 years or so, or 10 to 12, 15 years of college football, this is new. I've never seen this happen. I've seen the Mike Norvell thing. We build it back up. It falls like a rock. Hey, we're on our climb back up. We're going to make it happen again, it looks like. I've not seen this, though. This is new.
No, definitely. I do think the damning part for Kalen DeBoer, in my opinion, is it seems like we know what it looks like from here on out, what a Kalen DeBoer team looks like. And it's going to happen this season. They're going to look like an unstoppable force at some point in 2025. And everyone's going to go, oh, they turned the corner. Here it is. Everything's fine. This is the game. This is the Alabama we expected to see. But the problem is they can't consistently deliver that. We saw that last year. We saw them beat the hell out of Georgia for a half and go, my God, this is the best team in college football. This might be the best team ever. And then for the next 6 quarters, it was, ooh, not very good. Turn around a few weeks later. You beat the hell out of LSU. It's like, they had a blip on the radar. Kalen DeBoer's Alabama is back. Jalen Milroe's back. Again, lose to Oklahoma. So the reality of it is, for me, is like we're going to see this go up and down. It just depends. Alabama fans, are you happy with dealing with the lows that you're dealing with right now? Are you happy with getting embarrassed on social media because you lost to an unranked team that you were favored by 14 points? Because there is good coming for you. History states that you're probably going to beat a top 5 team and beat the hell out of them this year.
I think the true answer to your question about like answering a question of a coach like starting off down and going up, like this is just such of an anomaly, like this situation right here, because it is Nick Saban. Yeah. Because like that is who you are following. This like it almost discredits anything that is happening right now, because I don't even know if like that is like the actual standard for Alabama football. Nick Saban created that. Nick Saban is the greatest coach of all time in college football. I don't know if that means that Alabama needs to be perennially that good.
To me, it's not even a standard of like, this is the Alabama standard. There's a standard of winning football, and they don't play it.
No.
They don't play winning football. They sometimes can get you because their talent's good enough, but they do not play winning football. They do not prepare their players to win games. They do not call games to win games. I'm not bullish on it and turning up. Like, dude, I have not seen a defensive film study that bad in a long time. Mm-hmm. And I know Gus Malzahn, but guys, Gus Malzahn ain't reinventing the wheel. The idea that we're running quarterback counter off of jet, duh. He ran the shit with Nick Marshall in 2011. Like, this stuff is not new. I was flabbergasted by the lack of run fits to see in a college football game. Not leveraging the football. We went on the rant last night. That was so bad, I don't know if you can pull the nose up. And here's the other thing. We already know what the signs are when you start feeling pressure. He's going to walk one of these coordinators to the plank this year. He's going to walk one of them to the plank, push them off the edge, and fire them.
We know which one it would be.
And we know which one it's going to be. And whenever that happens, that's the time where the boosters are going to start saving their money for the buyout. Because you don't survive. You don't survive the second coordinator firing. You're the second one to go, Norm. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take a quick break to give a big-time shout-out to our friends over at Sleeper, our premier sponsor on the year, and they're doing a great job. The number one place for daily fantasy and prop plays, Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats. It's that simple. Over on Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts, share with your friends, and get rewarded together. Use promo code Brooks today over on Sleeper and get a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Again, promo code Brooks on Sleeper gets you 100% deposit match today up to $100. Sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. I want to give you a quick tutorial of how friendly and how easy it is over there on Sleeper today. We're going to scroll over to the college football tabs at the top right there, and then you can see we've got all the quarterbacks ready for their pass yardage with their total yardages set. We've got rushing yardages for both quarterbacks and running backs, receiving yards, all that good stuff, passing touchdowns. And here's what I am looking at today, guys. Looks really, really juicy. Jamal Haynes, half a touchdown total in this matchup this weekend against Oklahoma. Come on, guys. One place to be this year, Sleeper. Promo code Brooks. We appreciate those guys.
The biggest red flag for me in all of this is that you don't, like, you look way worse than you were last year. And we were like, and the stats will tell you that this is one of the most talented teams in the country. And yes, you did lose some very valuable football players from last year's team, but you also brought back a lot. You also brought back a lot of key members on defense and on offense this year, and things were looking up for you.
The biggest concern to me is they clearly don't have any answers, because every time I hear them talk about, oh, we just got to get back to the standard. I thought this whole offseason was about getting back to the standard. I thought y'all were starting to tuck your shirts in. I thought y'all were starting to actually show up for time stuff and weights on time. I thought that's what this offseason was about. Oh, it's about team meet. I thought y'all held team meetings last year. I thought y'all circled the wagons last year. I thought y'all got the boys together and said, no, this is about us. This is about making sure we do the little thing. I thought the summer was about little things. Y'all already identified these things as problems. Y'all spent the last 8 months trying to fix them, and you didn't. That's even more concerning. Every time I hear somebody come to a microphone, it's about, oh, we gotta get back to the standard. When you're going to do it?
What is your standard?
What is the standard?
Because, I mean, obviously we know Saban's standard, and that's been set. You clearly are not capable of reaching. And look, saying you can't reach the Saban standard is not really that big of an insult. He's one of one. He's one of a kind. You're not going to find a coach that can match that. But, I mean, and I hate to do this retroactive stuff and looking at it in hindsight, but Kalen DeBoer is a Ryan Williams incredible touchdown catch and a Lenora Sellers turnover from being 7-5 last season.
It's true.
And the reality of that is that you go down the line and then it's, okay, we're 7-5. We really need to get back here. And you come out and you give this. It's very not good. It's damning for Kalen DeBoer, I think. And honestly, I feel like Alabama's going to be under the mentality of fail fast and figure out, okay, if this isn't the guy here and you've shown us no life, we're done with you.
The crazy part to me is that we're in year 2 of this, and typically what we would probably be discussing when it comes to a head coach and about him being able to stay with a program is, let's pay attention to the recruiting class that he's bringing in this year. If he keeps that intact, he's got a young quarterback, a young former 5-star quarterback in the room. Everything else looks like it's on the up and coming, and that doesn't even feel like that's a factor in any of this. It doesn't matter how great your recruiting class is. It doesn't matter the fact that Keelan Russell's on your roster right now. Nobody cares about that because of what the product looks like on the field.
Well, it's not a talent issue is the problem. I would get that if it was like, man, Alabama's just not good anymore. They're not. The talent is there.
They got one of the most blue chip laden rosters in the sport.
It's the effort. It's the coaching. It's the preparedness. It is not a SEC caliber team in all those aspects.
SEC winning caliber football team right now.
Okay, SEC, it is not a national championship. It is not a playoff caliber team, and that's what you have to be at Alabama.
I just don't know how you right the ship. That's my main question about this. When the nose starts going down, how many coaches start pulling it up? It's just not very many of them.
I'll even do one more specific. What coach has turned around the culture that quickly in a program? Because you had a whole offseason to do it, and you didn't do it. Yeah. You're gonna turn around this offseason,
especially
the regular
in the last
season
5
now?
years of college football.
Yeah.
Like if you bring me an example from the mid-'90s, buddy, we got a different level of young teenager. I don't know if y'all have talked to a 19-year-old lately. Hell, I got young people I can't even manage, and I don't coach hard. I don't even manage hard. You can't talk to people nowadays. You can't coach them hard nowadays. So I don't even know. And you know what I think is the most disingenuous argument ever is that Nick Saban saw all this coming and got out, or maybe he was 74 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was 74 years old and had been doing this since the 80s. Maybe that's why he retired. I get so sick and tired of everything's even now. That's why he left. Guys, he left in a semifinal game. What are y'all talking about? I thought his last year of coaching college football was one of his best years of coaching college football. I thought he boxed Kirby Smart in an SEC championship game. I thought he made the key coaching adjustment in an SEC championship game and won that sucker off a defensive change. So what are y'all talking about? I think it's the most disingenuous bullcrap ever. That, Nick Saban was cheating. That's the only reason he won. Like Alabama and Kalen DeBoer don't have a blue chip roster right now and can't figure out basic alignment on defense.
I mean, the argument that Nick Saban saw what was coming and left is fair. I think the argument that, Nick Saban realized he couldn't out-cheat is crazy.
I don't even think that he saw it coming and left is fair. He was 73 years old.
Well, it's that. I think it's more along the lines of Nick Saban saw the era of college football was turning, how much more difficult it would be to win a national championship, how much more effort you'd have to put in, how much more effort you'd have to put on the recruiting trail, and said, you know what, I'm 74, I don't need this. I've already cemented my legacy. I don't need to deal with what's coming down the pike because I've already cemented myself. That's why I think when people are saying that's why he left. I don't think Nick Saban went, I can't cheat anymore. I'm out of here. Yeah. I don't think it's that.
In fact, you can cheat even more, some would argue.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.